Good morning from me and from Boo Kitty Boo here. He was all ready to say hi, and I guess now he's being a little shy. But yeah. So we are ready for yet another read aloud from our book Tyrabbisaurus Rex. Today's chapter, if you'll remember right, we left off with Tyrabbisaurus Rex. He had had quite the adventure, and now he's back in his cage, and students are about to come in the door per Mrs. Cabbage. So we're going to get started here with today's chapter, which is from Derek's point of view. Derek. This day is crazy weird. And that bunny is a bit of a menace. I kind of understand why Ginger calls him the Devil Bunny. First thing this morning, Ginger and I got off the bus and run to the classroom. Mrs. Cabbage tells us that Cuddle Bunny had an adventure last night. He escaped his cage again. That rabbit's like Houdini or something. And he even escaped the classroom when Mrs. Cabbage got here this morning. Can you believe it? Luckily, they caught him pretty fast, and he's back home safe and sound. But he made a mess in the classroom last night. The floor is covered in silver strips of shiny paper. What's all the silver stuff? Ginger asks. Mrs. Cabbage shows us the chewed up yogurt chip bag. It's mostly silver, but someone had chewed on it in the night. It's covered in bite marks and tiny holes. Did Cuddles do that? I wonder. He must have, Mrs. Cabbage says. This was almost full yesterday, but now it's completely empty. Wow, I say. He must have been really hungry. That rabbit'll eat anything, Ginger says. I don't think he has to be hungry at all. He just has to be alive. I laugh out loud. Ginger smiles a tiny smile. The bag wasn't even near the cage when I found it, Mrs. Cabbage says. It was over there by the bookshelf. She points toward the back of the classroom. Cuddles sure was busy last night, I say. Hey, where's our tiger? Ginger suddenly asks, walking toward the back counter where our school mascot usually sits. Before Mrs. Cabbage can answer, Ginger comes to a sudden stop and wails, "Oh no, Mrs. Cabbage, look!" She reaches down and picks something up. She turns to face us. She's holding our tiger, but he's a real mess. His nose is missing. Some stuffing is falling from the side of his tummy, and his mouth looks lopsided. That Devil Bunny did this, didn't he? Ginger demands. Mrs. Cabbage sighs. She takes the tiger from Ginger and tells her that she'll work on sewing up Tiger later. She sits the tiger on her desk and starts to write on the front board. Ginger's eyes widen. If he did that to our tiger, what do you suppose he did to my hat? She bolts for the closet. I race after her. The minute we reach the closet, my stomach drops. There's a mess of scraps in the middle of the floor. For a terrible moment, I'm afraid it's Ginger's hat. But then I realize the scraps are mostly blue, and Ginger's hat is purple. What is that? Ginger asks. I don't know. I approach the mess slowly. I crouch down and study it. It looks like a sweatshirt. Maybe. Oh, wow, Ginger says. Didn't I tell you he's a devil bunny? I mean, look at that. I'm glad that's not my sweatshirt. Someone's going to be awfully mad. I nod. Maybe we should move it. Maybe we should throw it away. I'm doubtful. I don't know, it's not ours. Here, Ginger drags over a box of magazines that we sometimes use for class projects. Put it in here. I scoop up the mess and drop it in the box. Ginger wrinkles her nose. I don't know why we're keeping it, she says. No one's gonna wanna wear that. Yeah, but at least they'll know what happened to it this way, I tell her, instead of wondering where it went. She nods. I stand up. At least it wasn't your hat. Yeah, Ginger says slowly, staring at something behind me. I turn and see that her hat is sitting on the shelf in the closet, exactly where Ginger left it the day before. There, see, I say. Your hat's still there, all safe and sound. She reaches up and slowly pulls down the hat. My eyes widen as I get a good look at it. I'm not sure, but it doesn't look exactly right. Ginger stands there a minute, then says, I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! She storms out of the closet and heads for the bunny cage. I race after her. Look what you did, she tells the rabbit, who's happily eating veggies and not even looking at her. Look! She shakes the hat at the cage, but the rabbit doesn't even move. And here's a picture of Ginger as she is showing Tyrabbisaurus Rex her hat. What's wrong, Ginger? Mrs. Cabbage asks. Look at my hat, Mrs. Cabbage, Ginger says. It was on the shelf to the closet, and that devil bunny still got to it. I don't think the bunny can jump that high, Ginger, I protest. Of course it can. How else is that bunny getting free? Because he's talented, that's how. Well, I begin, not certain what I'm going to say, when Mrs. Cabbage interrupts us. Let me see your hat, Ginger. She hands it over. It's not that bad, sweetheart. The lace and flowers got dislodged a little, that's all. I'll work on wrapping them and reattaching them this afternoon. It'll be just fine, good as new tomorrow, I promise. Are you sure? Ginger asks. I don't want that bunny touching my things anymore. I'm sure, sweetheart. Cuddles has already had a very eventful morning, so I think he'll just stay in his cage for recess today. Thump, thump, thump. We all jump and stare at the cage. Cuddles is glaring at us as if he understood what Mrs. Cabbage said. Mrs. Cabbage laughs. I just love it when he does that. Isn't it the cutest thing ever? Thump! Cuddles slams his feet to the floor, making a sound that reverberates through the room. Ginger giggles. Thump! Cuddles leaps for his house, disappears inside it, then thump, thump. And that's the end of today's chapter. So, if you go to my website, you will find another inferencing activity waiting for you. Here's the thing. What on earth happened to Ginger's hat? We know that Cuddle Bunny scratched at that sweatshirt, and he is the reason it's in scraps like it is. But as far as we know, he never went near Ginger's hat. So what happened? I gave you a lot of clues, not just in this chapter, but in a different one. So make an inference from the clues that you've been given. What happened to Ginger's hat? Why does it look not quite right, as Derek says? All right, that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's chapter, and it is Friday. So we will be taking the weekend off, but we will get back to our read aloud, get back to the book, Tyrabbisaurus Rex, come Monday morning. So I hope to see you then. In the meantime, Have a great afternoon and have a fabulous weekend. See you Monday. Bye.